Hello, everyone. I am Camille Miller, the founder and executive director of the Natural Life Business Partnership. Welcome today. We are talking about promotional marketing and promotional marketing products with Rochelle Moneta of LeRoe Promotional Marketing. Thanks, Rochelle, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure, and I'm happy that you invited me on your webcam today, and I'm looking forward to sharing all my little secrets about promotional marketing.
Thank you. I just want to say the date. It is October 4th of 2018, and one of the reasons we asked Rochelle to join us is because in the Natural Life Business Partnership, we are doing a 90-day to goal challenge, and we are inviting experts in different fields to help people along with their challenges, and marketing seems to come up a lot. So we invited Rochelle to talk about promotional marketing, which is her background. Rochelle, can you tell us a little bit about promotional marketing and why it's important to, I guess, any business, but small business owners in particular?
Absolutely. One thing is, and I always say this, promotional products, they really get no respect whatsoever because they're referred to in so many different ways that are really negative. They're tchotchkes, they're give outs, they're, trinkets and trash. There are all these horrible names, but yet what people don't understand is the value of them and how important they are in any marketing strategy. And the funny thing is when people sit down and they do their marketing plan for the year, there isn't even a line item for promotional products. It's that, afterthought, we're going to an event and we need something to give out. But people never really look at them as the driving force to what they're trying to achieve when they go to these events. So with that being said, there's so many different ways of using promotional products, and I can't say most, but a lot of smaller companies and independent entrepreneurs think they can't afford it. But the truth be told, it is something that they should really look at and put into all their marketing strategies.
Almost like you can't not afford it.
You cannot afford it because all the things, it's the driving tool to your ROI at the end, return on investment. So it's the product. And the other problem is that people tend to think that they can't afford it, and then they end up buying cheap stuff. And what happens with cheap stuff is it breaks, or cheap stuff does not get kept. It gets tossed. Right. So really, if somebody only has a budget of $500, $200, you want that dollar spend to bring back something in return. So if you're going to take $200 and you're going to give out something cheap and everyone's going to toss it in the garbage, you might as well take your $200 from the get-go and just put it in the garbage. But if you're smart about it and you think about it and you say, okay, if I spend this is what I'm going to get back in return, then it's a whole different plan. And most of the times when it is done with thought and strategies, there is a return. So the promotional product ends up costing nothing.
Yeah. So a lot of times when I go, and I'm sure all of you go to like a conference, right? You get that goodie bag of crap and brochures and cards, and everyone kind of throws in stuff. I literally, especially if I flew there, I don't want to bring it home with me. So I literally just go through and just throw out everything I got. Not everything. I love pens. But for me, I like good pens, not cheap pens. But I know people pay a lot of money for pens, but I actually never even look at who's on my pen. Unless I really, really love the pen and then I wonder where I got it. But the chances of me going back to get another pen, like my attorney has a really good pen, but I don't know until it runs out that it was her pen. It's not like I look at it every day. And I can tell you I have pens all over this place. Wait.
Well, here's an example of my drawer.
Right now, right?
This is just a handful in my drawer. So all these pens, I don't know if you can see them.
I can see them, yeah.
Again, you have them in your drawer, and people spent a lot of money. One thing I say about pens is...
We have the same pen.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go into the same conference.
How many pens do you have? But you know what? the one thing about a pen, and I do say it's a good item, especially because it's not the best, but like when I go to a event and someone says, who has a pen? All of a sudden I pull out my pen. So, it's a good inexpensive thing, but I do recommend that if you are using them for your brand and you're using them as far as this is going to be my handout, give something that somebody's going to keep. And let me see if I have one.
I like bags too.
Yeah. So this is an example of a pen. All right. So you spend a little more, and this is my pen that I give out, and people love it, especially that it doesn't work. Oh, there it is. It's a light up pen. So again, there's so many places, as you get a little older and you go into a restaurant, you can't see when you're writing and things like this. So people love this pen. Also has the stylus. So I say spend a little more and people are going to hold on to your pen. To your point, bags. I always say bags, especially for a conference, if you have an opportunity to be the sponsor, make sure your bag is the biggest bag.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because you want your bag to be the billboard at the event. You don't want your bag to go into someone else's bag. So once again, if you're walking a show, and I remember years ago, there was one company, it was at the New York gift show. And there was a company that every year gave out the biggest bag. And everyone, the minute they walked into the show floor, they went to their booth to get that big bag. So again, it was brand recognition. They spent their money wisely because it was brand recognition. Everyone knew where to go at that conference for the biggest bag.
So I have two questions. Actually, Paul has written a question. And it's a good one, so we're going to ask that one. For those of you that are listening to us on podcast, or actually, it doesn't matter where you're listening to us. The members of Natural Life Business Partnership can join us on any taping, so they can ask questions in the chat room, so they can be a part of the conversation. Paul just asked, what makes those squeezy stress balls so popular?
They're fun. They're fun. That's it. They are fun. But my thing is, again, there's sometimes when you're doing promotion, when you're buying promotional products, and this is what I tell my clients, most of the time when you go to a promotional products distributor, they're going to say to you, how many and when? I ask my clients, why? Why are you picking a specific item? If it's a pen, why do you want a pen? What does it say about your brand? I'm always looking to understand my clients' target market, their brand, understanding their culture. So this way, when I'm recommending products to them, we try to tie it in to say what they do. Getting back to your question, Paul, with the stressies, you can do a lot of things with stressies. I mean, if you take it up a level and you incorporate print and packaging, the stress item might just be the message. So we did a direct mail campaign where we had a box, and it was comparing apples to oranges. And inside we had a stress orange ball. So it's about tying in the whole campaign too. And actually, when you opened up the box, we even put in a scent of orange. So when the recipients got the box, it was all senses were working for this campaign. But again, stressy, there's so many shapes and sizes that they have a stress toy for any industry. So again, it might be the stress, and again, let me think of something, it might be an avocado. And you tie it into the message if it is if you're looking at to promote healthy eating, things like that. So it's about the item delivering the message.
So what are some of the campaigns that you've put together to just talk about how you link it into your brand?
Okay.
And do you have some favorites?
Well, this is the one that I like to show people a lot. This is, I had one of my clients came to me and they were sponsoring a race and they wanted to give out an item at a race. Mm-hmm. So this is my favorite item, and we tend to always, present things that we love the best. I love this item. It's a shoe wallet. So it's a little wallet. You can put your key in it, your credit card. You can put it around your shoe. You can hook it to a belt. You can hook it to a strap. So it's one of my favorite items.
Okay.
If they were to just give this out, or if it was just dropped in a sponsor bag, again, just like the pen, people would pull it out and go, oh, okay, whatever. Never even probably look at the logo or really remember, unless they really love it. Then they I received one of these years ago, and I can tell you who gave it to me and the company, because I loved it so much. So it made me completely remember the company and the brand. But when I'm spending my clients' money, I want them to get a bigger bang for the buck, and tell their story. So I said to my client, why don't we do this? Why don't we elevate it a little, spend a little more money, and create this envelope to put it in? So we put the shoe wallet in the envelope. We came up with the campaign. Our clients finished strong. We gave the back of the card also had all the information about, and this is an accounting firm, gave all the information. But what we did was we also set up a designated website. So we were able to track the return on the investment.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
So what had happened was, so this website, we knew that the hits that we were getting on the website only came from this campaign. So sometimes, again, that's a really big important thing. How are you going to engage the client first? And then how are you going to measure the return? So this one, this was one of my favorites. I've taken it, which I should have I don't have it in front of me. Here's the one that I want to show you. Here's another example. This is that, Paul, for you. It's a hot and cold pack. Why would someone use a hot and cold pack? It's really positive, Once again, this particular one was for healthcare. So the hot and cold pack tied in with the healthcare. And then once again, we added the print, the packaging, and told the story along with it.
So just wait, hold that up for one more minute.
Sure.
I'm just going to say, for the people that are on, of course, when I talk, it changes my speaking view. Can you read what it says? Just
Okay.
Because for the people that are on radio or podcasts.
Yeah, this was another one that I did. Again, a hot and cold pack, and that's a tooth. So this was for a dental convention. We did it. And it says, do financial and operational challenges cause pain and affect your bottom line?
Right, it's a little tooth.
So it's a little tooth, and it was a dental, and it's a hot and cold pack, which reflects, taking away the pain.
Okay.
And all about the company in the back of it.
Very nice. And those are for more conventions.
Mm-hmm. Both of these were given out at conventions, once again. Other things that we have, direct mail. People think direct mail is not popular. Direct mail is probably right now one of the best ways to target a body. That's, some of the things that we have done. And here's an example. Again, let me get one. Something as simple as, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Everyone
Go ahead.
We all have those screen cleaners, right? The cloths, the screen cleaner cloths, people give them out all the time. They're very functional. People hold on to them. What we've done is we've also taken the screen cleaners and incorporated them with postcards. And these are direct mail pieces.
Okay.
So every day your mailbox is filled with cards, promotional cards. I have some here, just direct mail. Well, anyway, we get a lot of direct mail, and most of the time it gets tossed in the garbage. This is a way to get your message. This was a save your date. Okay.
I like when they're oversized too. Some of the ones that when they're oversized, when you collect I used to 20, maybe more than 20 years ago, I used to study direct mail. I was actually in direct mail marketing. That's where I came out of college and did it. But I always knew even those, and I think it's coming back to that because no one uses mail anymore. We went to social media for a while, people realizing that isn't working. they're all coming back to direct mail. But having that oversized, so when you take your mail out, you pick up the bigger things first to start sorting it so you can hold it in your hands. So
Absolutely.
those big oversized pieces or something that's a little bulkier definitely gets attention in mail.
Absolutely. And right now there's no one method that's 100% effective. Right. You have to have a complete strategy. So social media, again, a lot of people lean on social media, but is it the right medium for your target market?
Mm-hmm.
So again, you've got to really take a look at who's your target market, what are you trying to achieve, and what's your differentiating factor that you're going to get them to engage with you. And with the direct mail pieces, again, things like this, which I love, and this one was actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a series of webinar dates on it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Clean your calendar. Is that what it says?
Yep, it says clean your calendar. So it's a screen, again, played on the words, it's a screen cleaner in there. This I've done numerous times, and it fits into almost all types of marketing campaigns. And the other thing that I really like about this one is direct mail can get expensive, and a lot of people don't think about that when you're creating anything. So if we were to mail something like this, again, something like this can cost, and I'm going to say around $3 or so, which people don't realize it because of the shape and the size. An item like this still is only 2 stamps. So anything bulky with direct mail gets expensive. Right. I don't think that, you're looking at $3, $3.50, and people don't think about that. And all of a sudden, they'll say, well, I have the budget and I'm going to spend this much on this calendar that I'm going to send, but they don't think about what is my postage going to cost.
Right.
So again, those are the things that as a, promotional consultant, I sit down and I make them aware of. People ask for mugs. We want a mug, we want a mug, we want a cheap mug. Again, $1 mug is $1 mug, but all of a sudden when I tell them, it's going to cost you about another $1 to have it shipped in.
Yeah, I love mugs. Mm-hmm. And I had mugs made with another one of my companies, but I was very particular. I still have them too, about it because I hate cheap mugs because they're all standard. They're all exactly the same. And I don't like the feel of them. Mm-hmm. And for me, it had to be like rounded at the bottom and a little thicker on the top. Like I picked out a mug that I would personally use all the time. So I think when you're choosing an item, to think about something that's comfortable for you, not just cheap. Mm-hmm. Isn't getting you very far. So we have a couple of questions that are coming up. Paul asked how about small thumb drives? Are they worth it? Do you think people keep them? I can tell you I do.
Yeah, I like thumb drives.
I love thumb drives, yeah.
People like it. My only recommendation again with thumb drives is know who your target market is and who you're sending them to. I did a marketing campaign that I won an industry award for. It was for an accounting firm, and I really should have had it here to show you. But if you go to my website, it's on there as a case history. And it was for I did it for an accounting firm. We were targeting 100 HR directors. And the theme was the game of chess. So the piece that I used in this promotional piece was a king-shaped thumb drive, USB. Okay, so it was shaped like a king. But we knew who the target market was, so we did not load it with any information, and we made sure to put in the box that it was clean and there was no information on clean viruses or anything. So when I say know your target market, a lot of corporations are not allowed to put anything into any let's say thumb drive fully loaded with information. However, it's a great item if you're doing a training program and you give everyone the thumb drive with all your PowerPoint presentations to take home. So
that's a great idea for all of our members that are speakers. Mm-hmm. That's a terrific idea. Right. I like that one a lot.
Mm-hmm. And then the other thing is you can lock in the information too. Another great way to use a USB is for, you know how they do the journal books at events? So you can, so again, if you do have an event and you're looking for sponsors and you want to sell sponsorships, you can load that onto the USB and have it, you know, protection lock on it so the information stays, so everyone has all the sponsors' names after the fact too.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some of the best kept giveaways, like that people keep the most? Do you have an idea?
Right now it's technology.
Okay.
No, it is your thumb drives, it is your charges, it is phone accessories, any
charger. That's a good idea.
The charges are really big because once again, you know, I'm embarrassed to say I don't know how many of them, and I can't tell you how many times I'm out and I don't have a charger. So you never have too many of them. A lot of the drinkware has become fashion wear. So it's not just about having your mugs or your bottles. They've become accessories that go with people. So if it be, you know, your copper insulated hot cold mugs and tumblers, they're really big. The other big trend in the industry right now is packaging to make your products look retail. So instead of just giving the tumbler or the bottle, give it in a nice box along with it, a decorated box, almost like this, you know, where you can take something and just elevate it and make it your own. You can even have the recipient's name on the box. So
I was going to say so a lot of our members are healthcare practitioners in some level. Some, you know, sell products, some have clients, doctors, speakers, all sorts. So, but a lot of them do vending tables, you know, like at events, probably with not large budgets. What do you think some products would be good for those? I'd like to say I like lip balm too. But and for women, I like the nail one, the emery boards.
Emery boards, lip balms, they're always
from everybody.
They are keepers. I'm not sure Paul agrees with the emery board. Is it? You know what? It's also doing things like this, and again, mirrors. You know, so this was done for a dental and spa. Again,
what is that?
It's actually a mirror.
Oh, a mirror. Okay.
A mirror.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it just opens up. You can throw it in a purse or something.
Right.
Another thing, Paul, you're probably not taking that one either. Paul says, I keep the emery boards in my toiletry bag, so I have one if I need it. That's smart.
Oh, there you go.
Same with the mirror. The mirror would probably do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stress again, because again, with what I recommend, especially with trade shows, be careful. Because a lot of people go to trade shows and think that when they're looking for their handout, they're looking for something that they can give to everyone in the room, and that's not the case. When you're attending a trade show, maybe 10 to 12% of those people are your target market.
Good point.
What I like to find out is, and the other thing is, when people attend trade shows, they think day of, that is it. But they don't think of pre, day of, and post. So how are you going to get the people into your booth, your target list? What are you going to do when they're in the booth? And how are you going to follow up with them? So when you're planning your budget, you have to take all those scenarios into consideration. So if you have a budget and let's say it's $1,000 and it's only 10% to 12 that are going to be your target market, well, all of a sudden you're going to adjust that $1,000 differently. Instead of, I have, 1,000 people and I'm going to spend $1 on each person. No, you're going to take that budget and you're going to recreate it. Put candy on your table for the rest. Or something very inexpensive, and take your budget and focus on the 10% that you want to get in that booth. And go ahead.
I was just going to say also, because that can be pricey now that you're talking about, if you're giving it out to everybody that's coming by, or if you're doing a weekend event, that would it be more cost effective if you had an office, say, with clients that came to you or patients that came to you, and you gave a branded folder or branded material or branded
that's where USB
a mouse pad, because you're looking at it all the time. I'm trying to think, like, what else? Is it more cost effective? And do you find that products work better if you have something targeted for your specific client, kind of as a thank you gift? You bring something with you?
Yeah. And yes, absolutely. Because one thing about thank you gifts or client appreciation gifts, those people are your salespeople.
Right.
Those people are going to be the ones that are going to give you your referrals. So it's important to thank them. They're your sales team out there. And a lot of people forget about that. You know, take an example, and I find this really funny. You go to a new salon or any service, a retail service, they're rewarding the people. You know, we'll give you a discount if you come in today. But once you're a loyal customer, all of a sudden your discounts go away and you get nothing, but they're constantly giving to the new people. Whereas if you start to recognize and reward your valued customers and clients, all of a sudden you're building that relationship and you want them to go out and tell people about your services.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Because I always talk about one, building your client referral base. So they're always referring back to you, like a referral system that I always call your raving fans. So I have what we call raving fan programs. So when I was in the real estate market, when people referred clients to me, I used to send them a tin of cookies with my name and brand, just say thank you for the referral, because I always made money from it. Yeah, so I definitely had a referral program just to recognize, even if you just send a card, but if you just send something to say, you know, thank you that you're thinking of me, or to just loyalty, or it's been a year. I see some offices, actually stores are starting to do it now too. After a year or 2 years, they keep anniversary dates from your first thing and send a little nice, that's really targeted.
Yeah.
You'd stay well on mine there.
Absolutely. And the other thing is reactivating. There's so many people that out of sight, out of mind, and they're a wealth of business also that people forget about. You know, if you haven't heard from somebody in a year, all of a sudden they just kind of slip away and out of sight, out of mind. But that's a whole client base that, you know, is easy to get back. And and you do it through targeted campaigns, through recognition, all that. And again, that's where a lot of things that I do come into play. To say, okay, and that's what we do. We strategize, we sit and we look at, when I say target, you know, you have your top clients, you have your ABCD counts again, you know, breaking up your target list. And I always say, spend the money only on your targeted, you know, the big dollars, because that's what's going to come back in a return on an investment, and measure it. You know, I always say my mantra is promoting with a purpose. Most people do not promote with a purpose. They just buy because they have to go to a show and, you know, they're supposed to give something out. And, you know, there's a lot of people, and I'm sure all of you have been at a show where you'll see somebody they call it the trade show trick or treat. You know, what do you have for me? What do you have for me? What do you have for me? Who has the best handout? And that's not the way to do it. And then you just, you know, and I myself, you know, when I go to a trade show, no, it's not about giving out the best thing. It's about engaging people and in understanding what their needs are, building that relationship, and then spending.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that's live with us, do you guys have any questions about a specific business, a promotional product? things that you can use along the way? What's a great entry item for a low budget entrepreneur or something?
Again,
it depends on the business. I know that you're going to say.
it really, really depends on the business. It depends on the type of events that they're doing. Before you do anything, the first thing is to really identify who the target market is.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people think, you know, especially in my industry, someone say, well, everyone's my customer. Everyone buys promotional products. So, you know, you've got to really identify who that target market is. So if it be a doctor's office, perhaps it might be other, their biggest lead generation is going to come from referrals of other vertical markets to that, whoever else. So that would be, you know, the way they might want to go. And how are you going to get those other doctors or other businesses to refer business to you? And a lot of times people don't think about that. They don't think about who is their vertical market and who could, you know, send the referrals over to them. So they don't never think about, you know, building a campaign directed to them.
Yeah.
Now I have a question back. Anyone on the webinar, are they currently using promotional products in their marketing?
Is anyone using it? Hands? Nobody. Oh,
This one.
yeah.
What type?
Doctor. He's a doctor.
Okay.
Well, it said yes. So, Jaime, what type of promotional products do you use? You can go live or you can just type it.
So we do have products for patients when they come in. So pens. We do have lip balm, which is very popular.
Absolutely.
I like
it's a quality lip balm. It's not like something, you know, just they love it and they use it and it's just like, wow, this is great.
Yeah. Everyone loves lip balm.
And little things like that. That's what we have for patients. We also have a rewards program for patients who come in a lot.
Good.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
Yeah. Now, many years ago, what I did for an orthodontist, I did a custom USB for him, and his logo was a smile, a big smile.
Right.
So we did a USB with the smile, and that was done so they can be more green, and they weren't giving everyone the documents. So getting back to Paul's thing with the USB. So they loaded, instead of giving the patients and clients all of the information in paper form, they loaded it all onto the USB with their branded USB.
I like that idea. I really like it for speakers. We have so many members that are speakers, right, and that are giving away things. But I'm also thinking if you're speaking or doing a workshop or even at a vendor event, if you had the USB, you can put, like, instead of saying download my document here, you can give it out.
Right.
I like that. Or even if you collected manually, like email addresses. I know a lot of people do that to build their email list. You know, giving something out like that is a nice idea. I like the USB a lot.
Yeah. But, you know, getting back to what I said before, the biggest thing about promotional marketing is many people think that they can't afford it. They don't put it into a marketing plan, where if you look at it as a driving tool to engagement, relationship building, you know, all those you're just getting people brand awareness, and stay consistent with what you're doing. It's going to come back. It's going to pay for itself, especially when you're lead generating and thinking about doing more direct mail. You know, magnets are great. As a matter of fact, I don't have it in front of me, but I invite everyone to link in with me on LinkedIn, and you'll see a lot of things that I've done. And I do post up there all the time ideas. And I just did something actually for a hospital where I posted, it was another direct mail campaign, and it had a magnet that looked like a Band-Aid on it. The other thing that you can do with direct mail is we can also target geographically who your target market is. So again, takes it away from you. We can do the whole campaign from beginning to end and identify who the target market is geographically, and work from beginning to end.
Right. Excellent. All right. It's coming. We're going to wrap this up. We're coming to the end. Any more questions or thoughts from the people that are watching? No? Everyone's good? All right. Well, thank you, Rochelle, for joining us today and talking about some promotional products and some ideas. Do you want to give the audience, people are clapping on mute, if you want to give your information in case people need to follow up with you?
Absolutely. Please feel free to email me. The email is rmoneta@LeRoe, LeRoe.com. Name of the company, as Camille said, LeRoe Promotional Marketing. I'm on LinkedIn as Rochelle Moneta. I got to make sure there's so many different ones. Rochelle Moneta, Moneta. Also, LeRoe Promotional Marketing has a Facebook page, so I recommend you go there too. And yeah, feel free, reach out. I also recommend that you go to my website, which is LeRoe.com. And if you go onto my website, you'll see blogs, and you'll also see some of the case histories of some of the projects that we have done, and outlines, success. And yeah, it's something that I recommend everyone think about. So the next time you're looking for a mug or a pen or a handout, or even on sponsorship opportunities, ask yourself why, not how many. Ask, why am I doing this? And what is the best way for me to tell my story and get that brand recognition? So thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us today. And hopefully you'll be around to answer questions as it comes up. This stays on replay, and actually it goes live on our podcast and on our YouTube channel, but it will remain on replay for all of our members to watch past this. So if they didn't jump on today, they can jump on. So if there's further questions, we will forward those to you. So I just want to thank everyone that joined us today and wish you a really great day.